Hello everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live for this week. Thanks for joining me. It's nice to be back with you after a couple of weeks. Couldn't join last week because we had no electricity, had no internet, nothing. So glad to be back here with you today. My name is Rachel Laird Smith, and I'm from Stampin Glass, and I'm an independent Stampin Up demonstrator in Australia. Um, I love to teach paper crafting and card making. Sorry, none of my lights just fell. Card making and teach you different ways to enhance your projects. So if you are joining me for the first time, I'm based in Melbourne. Um, and anything you see that I share with you today, any products, you can purchase from my online store or by contacting me. I do have PDF tutorials that are available worldwide for purchase worldwide as well. I'm just going to make sure I am all good on Facebook as well. And sometimes just have had some technical difficulties. So let me know how your day has been and where you're joining me from. It is really nice to see you, and I appreciate you taking the time to be with me today. Tonight I am going to be using the Stippled Roses stamp set. Love this stamp set. I didn't get it at the start, and I wasn't sure whether I liked that type of grayish look at the back and the way it's stamped prior to getting it, of course. But then I really liked how it looked, and the coordinating dies are so nice. So we're going to be using that. And tonight I have got a sketch in mind and list that I'd like to use, and just some ways I'm going to be using these products. But I'm going to work through the process here, so I haven't got a card that I have created. Just going to work through the colors, and we'll try some things out, and you can even help me as we go through, and just share with you how my creative process. Sometimes I do this with you, so but while I have some actual techniques that I'm sharing with you, which I want to do as well. So I just like to do that sometimes, just so you know how my mind and how I go through the process of picking a stamp set or picking an image, and then working through colors, working through layers, and how I add things or take things away, and that all helps in the process of making something just right and how you like it, right? And it's just your personal preference, and this is how I go through my little process. All right, so I have done some things earlier. So right now you can it's our Sale-A-Bration promotion, and we really have only 8 days, just over a week left to take advantage of this promotion. And I'm going to show you something that I was able to get free during this promotion in my last order. So every $90 you spend, you can get a free product from the Sale-A-Bration range. So where is my freebie? So there are exclusive products to Sale-A-Bration, plus there are products that are only from mini and annual catalog. So this is from my annual catalog. I don't have this. I never had this before, and it's a great guy set, a great Father's Day one, particularly. And for us, I'm thinking ahead for September when we celebrate Father's Day in Australia. This would beautiful set. So this is, I'm going to make sure, I think it's free with a $90 order. Yes, it's free with a $90 order. So you can easily choose this. So you can choose several other products that are there. So there's 22 products there in the selection of the freebies there. So you pick what you want. You can pick as many as you like. As you can pick one, you can pick 10 when you, depending on how many order. Now, how much you order. Now, if you are going to make an order that is a bit more pricey or more value, I would say consider that starter kit, which has some two options for you. They definitely worth thinking about because you're getting more value in that starter kit as well. All right, so what I did did was fussy cut an image from the Designer Series paper, which is the softly stippled Designer Series paper. This is a Sale-A-Bration freebie, so that's free with a $90 order, and you can get that, choose that, and that really coordinates nicely with this Stipple Roses stamp set. So ideally, I'd like this paper with that stamp set. And so if you're getting the bundle, I'm gonna encourage you to get that. I'm just trying to get a little book to color on, to use as my scratch pad, so to speak, to color and always have something under you to color. I'm going to be using some watercolor pencils. Now this, I don't have the new assortment one, but I did pick some colors that are available in the new set. So we have two sets of the watercolor pencils, 1 and 2, and you can purchase them so you get 2 lots. So just pick your sets, but you can use this as basic color pencils, or you can use them with your with water with your water painters or your blender pens. So that would work, so as a watercoloring. So that's what's good for, that's what it's good for as well. So but they are really nice soft pencils, so really good quality, and they color really well. All right, so I'm starting with, I've got some colors in mind. I've got some melon mambo. I did have balmy blue. Let's see about that one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I like calypso coral. I did pull that out. Gorgeous grape. So in the new colors, you may want to substitute with what you've got, and I've got some greens there. So let's go ahead and color the image. So generally when I start a card, I will either pick the background. So I'll create a background and work through it, or I'll pick the central image, or I'll pick the DSP and pick the colors. So that's just generally how I work. And in this case, I had a sketch, and I've gone sort of in mind, and I'm just going to color, and then I fussy cut this image. Now, the dies that come with this do cut out this large image. So this image is similar, but I just wanted the smaller image. So this is the larger version of what's in the Designer Series paper. So I'm going with Melon Mambo. Let me just and remind me, please. Sometimes I pull this in and then I forget. I have got to get into that habit of pulling that out. So I'm going in along this line. So this is all pretty. You can use it as is. You don't have to color it, but I'm just adding a bit of shading. I tried blends. I wanted to use maybe Bubble Bath, and I just felt I thought it was a bit too harsh. I think the watercolor pencils give a nicer look. Perhaps different colors might work differently. And I'm just coloring with a light touch. So build up the color in the center of your rose. I still may add some of that calypso coral, but let's see. Maybe just in that corner. I like to give some variation in that edges there. Always nice. That calypso coral needs a little bit of sharpening, but yeah. So now you can see just under here it's like a shadow, and I'm gonna bring in my Melon Mambo and add that shading. what you can see there. Okay. It kind of brings this to life when you add that little bit of shading on it. Your center of your rose is going to be darker because that's like the bud. And you can add some, just use a bit of your imagination there. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky to see those images because it is more distinctive type of image. And I'm going around adding that shading around those petals and turn it to how you can easily access or easily get to that for coloring so you can get a nice image. And again here we're going to add a little in the center. The paper is such, it has given you already shading, so it helps. You can see some darker sections there, so you automatically will add your dark there. So I've gone in with Calypso Coral, and in here I'll go with a bit more Calypso Coral there. And just a light touch on the edges and more depth in the sort of towards the bottom and the corners. Please ask me any questions you have. I will look up occasionally to answer those questions. Now, if I miss anything, I do go back and check everything after. And being my main image, I do take a little bit of time. It's gonna add that nice detail. I find coloring relaxing, so this is not an arduous task. If you don't like coloring, you don't, just leave the image. And thanks for joining. Lovely to see you guys. Sorry, I'm just gonna pull that back a bit, so just in case I move. Yeah, so adding your Calypso Coral, it just sort of gives you, because the watercolor pencils come in, not in all our colors, so it's a little bit limited, but you can create your own colors by mixing. So here I've sort of got a bit of a mix happening with Calypso Coral and Melon Mambo. So don't be afraid to try and create a color of your own. And I'm going a bit darker on these edges here, just where you can see. Now, if you have shopped with me, you know last year I sent some of you, whoever shopped with me, got a little voucher. Don't forget that voucher expires in March. So in April, and I don't know what month that, February, end of Feb. So make sure you use that too. So I hope you can see what's happening there. I'm trying not to cover it with my. Okay, so now I'm adding some differentiation with the Melon Mambo pencil. I'm going in on the lines that are already marked from the from the stamp. I am by no means any sort of I cannot draw a rose freehand. This makes me look artistic, but I'm not I'm good at coloring up. So can you see that? Now you can see some depth happening in there, right? So go in, and if like you want some ideas what colors to Google, good. Okay, what color shall I do? Or how does a rose really look? Sometimes I have to look up things. I've got no idea. Now we've got a little bud here, so we'll do the same thing. So kind of just this is going to be a lighter where the fold is, and then we're going to create some darkness at the base with lighter there and depth there. So this is just like a regular, what do you call it, a regular pencil. And follow those lines that are in the stamp. And you can have ones that are, one has more calypso coral, one can have a little more melon mambo. I mean, you're not going to get the flowers that are all the same. So it wouldn't matter. I did have some purple, maybe. I don't know. This is gorgeous grape. I think maybe just at that corners. Oh, right there. To add a little bit of depth. Instead of normally I would add like basic gray, but just to keep in with the tone and the colors, instead of adding the gray, I'm going with a bit of a touch of the purple. So you can mess with this as long as you like. I like to do a bit of work on this, and makes me happy. And then you can see like what I do. That's why I'm just taking a little bit of time, because, and by all means just do what you have time for and what you feel comfortable with, and don't get stressed about it. Just have fun. Okay, I think that's another little bud there. It's hard to tell sometimes. A little one, and that's the green we can put around it. I like this color combo actually. It's like the melon mambo and the calypso coral, and we've got another little one there. They're all over the place. So in this piece of paper, in this designer series paper, you've got a few sort of different, so there's a single one as well there, so you can use that, and they're easy enough to cut. It's not, I just didn't want to spend the time cutting, so I could spend time on some technique here and showing you other things. And a little bit. So where honestly, like, to be honest with you, I cannot really see the probably because I've just got not great eyesight, but I'm sort of just going with whatever I think it is there and creating my lines there, right? And there's a little bit of pinky there. And if you can't see, I can bet you your recipient's not going to be able to see it either. All right, it's coming together, isn't it? Now I have some old olive, some garden green, and let me pull that aside, and some granny apple. I'm probably going to be using garden green and granny apple and maybe a bit of old olive to highlight that. So let me bring that in a bit more. Okay. Alright, so because I wanted it a little bit to leaf a bit, so the brightness. So I can see that one there. And under, I'm going to bring the garden green just to add the, I guess, a shadow. And on that vein, I will bring granny apple green, but not granny, old olive. But I just wanted it, sometimes this is the color, and it's just a bit dulling for me. So I thought I'll add, maybe I was able to add some highlights with that. So I'm back to garden green. Just on the center of that leaf. If you have some cushioning under, it just helps, like a book, like a pad of paper or something, just helps to give you some, a better feel of that. So actually, I thought the leaf was this way, but it's actually here. That's how good my eyesight is, guys, but it doesn't matter. You just go with it. And I'll just add my... Just funny, last week when the lights were out, I said, I can craft under candlelight. That's the only thing we can do. And my daughter goes, Mom, you can't see when the lights are on. How are you going to see with candles? That was her response. That's how bad my eyesight is. So anyway. With Granny Apple here. But it is, that was all we could do. Like crafting, you don't need electricity. Big shot, or your die cutting machine will work without. You can cut paper, you can fussy cut, do something in the daytime even. So there's a few little leaves to color, so we'll get through them. And this is just around that bud. So I'm just gonna go just in circular motions. I'm doing it lightly, so it's not, this one I was a bit harsh there, but just so it doesn't leave too many harsh lines. It is a soft pencil, so it colors really well. And then I'll go in with my granny, with my garden green, and then add some definition there. So you could do different color combinations with nice. I just like the softness of the color pencils. I think it just was nice. But that's just personal preference too. Nothing wrong with using whatever. I'm back with the Granny Apple Green, and I'll just add some. I've just got it's got a bit of a funny edge at the bottom of the pencil. Just trying to get that off. And I add some at the base there, so where it would be a little bit darker. You might see that better. The color pencils are like just under $22, I think, by memory. So it's like a nice, it's pretty low cost, I would say. You get value, like like you can do a lot with the color pencils. So you're getting, it's like watercolors and things. So something you could consider. So you want to get as much value you can. All right, so we've got it's quite a bright leaf with the granny up. Oh, but I don't mind it. Now I'm bringing in some old olive, and it's gonna dull it down a bit and take the edge off. So that's how sometimes if it's too bright, and I don't mind the brightness on this, but I just wanted to add a bit of depth, and perhaps you can see that like difference with the old olive there. It's gonna add your depth and also giving you some shading and variation in your color. Sorry, I'll bring that back a bit. Lost you there. We're back. I'm doing like I'm controlling. I can't see what I'm. The camera's above me, so. One day today in Melbourne. It's and now the rain's, and it is reminiscent of last week when we had no lights. All right, we're nearly done. All right, so we have got that ready to go. As I go, I might suddenly see some bit I haven't colored because there's so many bits and pieces here, but we'll leave it for now. And I have cut. Now I will, if you're on my newsletter list, you're gonna get the tutorial for this. I will have the proper measurements, like the full measurements for you. And I've also die cut some circles. So this circle is from the old Stylish Shapes, which has been around for a while. And the other one is the all that dies. So I plan to layer it like that. Okay. Try and pull that back a bit. Okay. So white on white, but I will be doing some embossing on the little one so it stands out. Now on this, I wanted to stamp this image and create our own sort of designer series paper. But what color I was going to stamp in was the question, and I'm not sure. I had bought melon mambo, but I think melon mambo is just going to be too harsh. You can always flip it, and we'll try old olive and see how that goes. I wanted to create just my own designer series paper. Yeah, and I think that's nice, right? And that's what I said. Old olive is nice, and it just adds that sort of muted color when you don't want it too bright. And this is just random stamping here. This paper is the Softly Stippled, the freebie one. So that's available till the 29th. And then once I emboss it, this was kind of the layout I wanted. And I think that'll look quite nice. There's nice, the melon mambas come up nice with the pinky roses. It has a bit of a vintagey look, isn't it? It has a nice tone on that. Okay, so now this is actually pebbled path, but I'm gonna try smoky slate on that backing because I want to layer that. You know me, I like a bit of layering. So I've got some smoky slate scrap. Let's see how it looks on smoky slate. Because I think the pebble part might just be that touch too dark. And we'll create a couple of layers for these pieces. So this one's 6 by 12.8. Oh, 5.9 by 12.8. Yeah, it'll be. I really used a piece of scrap. I'll give you a proper measurement. 5.9. This is 6. I just go up by 5 mil. So then that's that piece done. And then we got it nice. And then it nicely coordinates as well. And this one was 6 by 11.8, 6.5 by 12.3. My blades need changing. So what I'm going to do is just layer those. And then we have that. That's quite thinking whether to trim this one a bit shorter, but maybe a little bit by 5 mil. 5 mil on either side. Just to have a bit more of that old olive visible. So then that'll be right. Okay, so sometimes that's how you have to kind of work it out and see. Now I haven't worked out what my card base or anything like that is, because I really hadn't worked out what color I was going with. But we can do that together. And sometimes you've got to see the card in the colors together, because I really hadn't prepared I had worked out what I wanted to do, but I hadn't prepared my colors exactly. Because this is going to be melon mambo, and then as I was doing it, I go, oh no, too bright. Not my style. What do you think? Do you like that? I like that image. It's very vintagey. Just the way it's printed, I guess. So we'll take these 3, and I'm going to use this distressed tile embossing folder. Now that's going to add even more sort of that vintage feel to this card. And the good thing with this, it doesn't matter where you place it. It doesn't have to be straight or anything like that, so, which is good. And we'll get our stamping cut and emboss machine. And now once you have this idea, you can just go ahead and just create go ahead with it and recreate it. Because we work together and sort of prepared it together. You can even do it with just the stamp set. If the paper is not your style, purchase a stamp set and pick another free product instead of just that paper. If that's not your type of paper, there's plenty of other things to choose from. So, see, it has a really nice look about it. Okay. So, and I'm not sure whether I'll need all 3, but I think I want it. Just lent itself. Trying to work out which side the stitching is, but it's kind of very faint, so it doesn't matter. I think this side seems a bit more. The stitching kind of disappears when you emboss it, but it's going to give you tone on tone texture when you do this. Just that. So white on white's nice. It gives. Check out. I can see. Saw that, and I obviously, can you see that little brown bit? I must have used a scrappy bit. We'll cover that up. Okay, now we are getting somewhere. I've got a matte piece of white, which is just a regular 10 by 14.3. That either way is fine. I just the way I'd stamped it kind of look better that way. Make sure he's on that side. Maybe an old olive base might be nice, or even a white. So gotta try things sometimes. You just never know. We could even go a gray. Gray might work well. It's gray. And that's old olive. What do you think? And do I have white? I mean, prepped white. If not, I can make one. I've got a vertical cut white on white. Not sure about the white, but I think the gray is looking good. Let me know your thoughts. This is actually smoky slate, so that's the base we used on that cardstock. So let's have a play there and see what we think. I've taken the white out of the equation, but can bring it back easily. And basic gray. The basic gray is a touch darker than what we've used here. So you've got basic gray. We've got old olive. We haven't worked out a sentiment yet, but we'll do that. That's old olive. They're all nice in their own way. We'll have to do one in each color. And this is smoky slate. Okay. Any choices? Any choices? Well, we think I'm gonna do a bit more work on these little guides. I'm going to bring in old olive. You can still vote for your pick on my card base. Bringing my blending brush, because no card is complete without a blending brush. That's just me. And old olive. And just I'm going to do a very light something on this. Alrighty. So I use this a lot to create like funky backgrounds, like just random random patterns. So I just want it on a little bit, but it just gives you not a distinct how to say it, distinct line, like a stark line. That's what I do, and I don't want that. And I use this for that purpose, so that it doesn't give me a. It's just very smooth and a soft line. This is the Artistic Mix Decorating Masks. You get, I think, 5 different masks. All right, and you can move it around. I used it on my monochromatic parakeet party card on Sunday. Saturday. So it's just a nice little way to add some texture or color to your background without being overly in your face. I hope this is coming through okay, because it's saying my reception is very, very low on my internet. So, because the weather's gone weird. And I live in an area where we just don't have the greatest internet, or we're a bit outskirts. Now I've got this parakeet party twine. There's no parakeet party, but it kind of goes with the granny apple green. And I'm not going to tie it around. I'll stick this guy down. Because I thought of putting that sort of blending at the back, but a lot of the base is covered up, so I left it blank. Where's my wonky one with the... I had 2 of them. An extra one. All right. So let's do that. Just glue them down. Loving that Distress Tile embossing folder. Maybe I'll move that down a bit. There. Sort of that green, I'm pushing it towards the bottom, because when I put that, and then you can see a little bit there. And this one, I'll probably put it on dimensionals, just for a bit of texture. I'm going to be planning an Easter class, which I'll do online, and because I've just got the Easter lily stamp set, and it looks really beautiful. There's some nice flowers you can do with that. You can't really see that much, but that's okay. Now for this, when you lay it down, only that part is going to be sitting up, and this is already bumped up by this circle, because that's already on dimensionals. So I will stick some dimensionals towards the top of this piece. Now if you do want to add a second set, double up, put a second, and then add the dimensionals again on the bottom, which I could do. I'll show you what I mean. So I've done now 1 layer there, and now this layer is only sitting there on a single, but you need to have it even, so I will bump that up with the second layer of dimensionals. You could use the strips as well if you wanted there. Right, so then it's even, so you can see you're not going to have it like once flattened. So I'm tossing between the smoky slate and the basic gray, and I think I am going with smoky slate for some continuity in that color. I like how this turned out. It's just like on the fly, we like this, and it's even like it's a soft color scheme, but I think the embossing sort of is reminiscent of like a wedding card. I think it's just a bit lacy kind of look. That's what it reminds me of. And who'd think you have that? I think it's a ready-made designer series paper. So, speaking of wedding cards, you have congratulations. You've got in this stamp set Happy Mother's Day, best birthday wishes, or sending thanks. It's a beautiful font too. The just it's the type I like anyway. Choices. I could go like a really pop of pink. No. Be really bold and daring. Let's get the basic gray. So if I don't want to do like a stark black, I go with basic gray or pebble part now is my latest craze. So congratulations across there on white maybe. So this is basic gray. It's just a very fine sort of like a fountain pen, the old fountain pen type of look. Let's see what we're gonna die cut it with. I think it needs a cut of sorts. Decorated rectangles might have something that is suitable. May not be long enough, but this is one you can adapt, which and really works well, and doesn't give you grief if you have to adjust it. So let's do that. Let me show you why I like this one. And for adjusting, because it's a shape that is not, it's how do I say, it's not a defined shape. It's a squiggly edge, and no one will know where the squiggle is meant to be. So easily adjustable. You know how you have a scallop, but then you've got to really make it the scallop at the right spot. This doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do when I create this, it's too big, like, so I'm going to bump that up there. So I'm going to get the bottom and my sides in the one cut, and then I'll have to run it through again to get the top cut. So if you want, hold it with washi tape or a Post-it note or something, and you can adjust any die like this, the size, any label die, but this one particularly is a bit easier. So now you've got a shape like that. You want to make the top smaller. So I will bring some washi because I don't want it to move at this point. And now even if that side gets adjusted, doesn't matter, because as I said, it's like a rough torn edge. Then you can create any size label you want. But you still have a nice edging to it. All right, so it has a neat edge, which so it's not sort of boring, but you still get something cute. Could even go there, but I think it's nicer here. I'm going to bring in this same leaf, right, which we stamped, and I'm going to stamp some on that sentiment so it's not stuck. And just let's stamp off with the old olive. And I'm just getting the leaf on there. And flip it. I'll do another one. So just a little bit of extra detail on that. And leaves it not so. And I'm going with the leftover on my brush, which had old olive from before. Alrighty. Now I'll probably take about 60 centimeters. Cut it in half. And tie a bow. Because it's the sort of card that you kind of need a bow, I think. But we'll see how it fits. It's a girly card. So don't forget, Sale-A-Bration ends on the 29th. We do get an extra day in February, so this year, so that's good. Anyone celebrating a birthday on the 29th? So I'm just going to tuck that under there. So when I do like make a card, I'm like each piece that I add on is individually like prepared in that sense. I'm working on each part separately. So like those little circles I embossed and then I blended. So then you're sort of creating a little creation on, and everything has some detail on it. And I can feel that is on that. Of all the places I put the dimensional right that ball. places at it. I might move that. Perhaps add the sentiment first. And then that's it. All right, we have done a card. For the flower in order, and I think that's perfect. Yeah, that's a beautiful little flower. Just got a nice little detail, and then you can just coordinate that on your envelope. And your card is ready to go. Embellishments. See, I think of things. Suddenly. Oh dear. Forgot about them. We can't forget little pearls or something. Some pretty pearls would be nice. We've got those sort of pinky ones. That would be nice. We've got iridescent pearls. Something more classic maybe. Because it's kind of a classic card, isn't it? Does this take you the longest to work out where to put these things? Yay. Okay. That is done. Hope you like that. Let me know. You could even try it with another stamp set, another floral stamp set. Replace that image instead of the designer series paper. Just replace it with what you have and create something. I'd love to see what you make, and yeah, share it with me. Thanks for joining me. I have my shopping link below. So the stamp set which I've used is available like while supplies last till the 30th of April. It's a mini catalog item, but the paper is only till the 29th of February, just so you know. Oh, thanks, Alana. I'm glad you liked it. If you like that or any of the other freebies, just remember it's only till the 29th. All right, and if I can help you and you want any help ordering, please just get in touch with me. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. Have a great rest of your night and have a lovely week ahead. The rest of the week that's ahead of you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.